Welcome to a bedtime story with your lower school grown-ups. Today, our third grade teacher, Mrs. Levine, will be reading the story Just the Thing.
Hi, boys and girls. My name is Mrs. Levine, and I teach third grade general studies. I hope you're having a wonderful summer so far. I am here to read you one of my all-time favorite stories. It's called Just the Thing, and I hope you love it as much as I do. Big Gorilla had a pesky itch. Right in the middle of his back, he wriggled and he squirmed. He reached and he stretched, but he could not scratch that itch. He hopped around the room, scritching and scratching. He bumped into walls and knocked over furniture, but he still could not scratch that itch. Shh, said Mama Gorilla. You'll wake little Gorilla with all this noise. You need a scratching tree. It's just the thing when I have an itch. So, scritching and scratching, Big Gorilla went outside to lean against a tree. He rubbed and he scraped. He scrunched and he scooted. But the tree was all gummy, and it stuck to his fur. He still could not scratch the itch, and now his itch was worse than before. It might be the thing for Mama, said Big Gorilla, but it's definitely not for me. You should wallow in the mud, said Warthog. It's just the thing for a hog with an itch. So, scritching and scratching, Big Gorilla stepped into the mud. He wallowed and he wiggled. He splished and he splooshed. But the mud was too sloppy. It splattered in his eyes and spluttered in his ears. He still could not scratch the itch, and now the itch was worse than before. It might be the thing for a hog, said Big Gorilla, but it's definitely not for me. See the lion up there? I think he might give him some advice next. You should try rolling in the grass, said the lion. It's just the thing for a lion with an itch. So, scritching and scratching, Big Gorilla sprawled out on the grass. He rolled and he tumbled, he slid and he slithered. But the grass was too slippery and tickled his back. He still could not scratch the itch, and now the itch was worse than before. It might be the thing for a lion, said Big Gorilla, but it's definitely not for me. What animal do you think might be next? Let's see. Do you see it in the corner? It's an elephant. You should try rubbing against an old anthill, said Elephant. It's just the thing for an elephant with an itch. So, scritching and scratching, Big Gorilla leaned against the anthill. He rubbed and he pressed. He twisted and he pushed. What do you think? Do you think that scratched his itch? I don't know. But the anthill was not an old anthill at all. It was home to an army of ants. They bit him and nipped him and chased him around. He still could not scratch the itch, and now the itch was worse than before. It might be the thing for an elephant, said Big Gorilla as he ran away, but it's definitely not for me. Look at the poor guy covered in mud and grass and now ants. Big Gorilla raced down to the river and jumped in with a splash. He washed off the ants and the mud and the gum. Then, scritching and scratching, he wearily walked back home. Poor guy. He was tired and wet as he flopped on his bed. And the itch? It was worse than before. "Let your dad rest," said Mama Gorilla to her son. But it was too late. Baby Gorilla had already jumped on his dad's back. He wiggled and wriggled. He scritched and he scratched. Big Gorilla groaned with relief. "Son, you're just the thing for a gorilla with an itch." Aww. The end. I hope you enjoyed that book. Have a wonderful rest of your summer, and we'll see you in a few short weeks. Bye.